Welcome students. Welcome back students. Now we see the last topic of our entire training session, that is file management in C. What is a file? What are the various uses of files and how to manage the files and what are the different types of operations we perform on files and some example programs that I'm going to explain in this particular session. First, let us see what is a file. Before going to the files concept, we have to learn about a stream. What is a stream? A stream is a sequence flow of data bytes, or simply saying a stream is a sequence of data bytes which is used to read and write data. A stream is a temporary storage area where all the data values before storing the data in a physical storage location or reading the data values from the physical storage location to display on the screen are loaded in a sequence of bytes. That particular sequence of bytes created by the operating system before doing any operation on the file is called a stream. The streams that represent the input data of program are known as input streams, and the streams that represent the output data of the program are known as output streams. Here we must know two more words relating to these streams. The input stream is the stream where the data are going to be stored before they are loaded into the main memory or into the physical storage system, that is file. And the output stream is a stream or a sequence of bytes that is meant for holding the data values before they are get to printed on the screen. And they are called as, we have already seen these two, std in is the standard input stream used in C programming, and std out is the standard output programming, a standard output stream used for printing. That means any data value that we enter that will be first stored in std in and then will be stored in the main memory. Similarly, any data value that we require from the memory will be first loaded in std out and then they will be printed on the screen. Clear? So the streams are mostly useful before the data are processed. Now let us see what is a disk. Disk IO function. Disk IO function means disk IO operations. Disk IO operations means the input-output operations on data values that are stored in physical storage disk are stored in terms of files. In disk IO operations on data, disk IO operations, data is stored in terms of files. That means the data are stored in physical storage locations. But before going to this, we see what is a file. A file is a collection of information that is stored at a particular area on the disk. In other words, a file is a collection of interrelated records that are stored in physical storage medium like hard disk. These basic operations performed on a file are first naming a file. As we do in the case of a variable, before using a variable name, we have to create a name to it. Then we have to define it properly. Here in this case, we will be opening a file. Suppose that then reading the data from a file, writing the data into a file and closing a file are the basic operations performed on the file. Let us assume that a book is like a file. Books are meant for storing the data and files are meant for storing the data. Before writing the data into the book, we have to name that book, for which purpose that book is meant for. For example, I want to maintain a book for writing the contents related to the C programming. So I name it as C book or C notebook. After that, before doing any operation on the file, I have to open it. So open the book before either writing or reading. Then once the book is opened, you can write the data. If the book is empty, first you will be writing the data into the file, and later if the data are available in the file, we will be reading the data from the file. After completing the task, we will be closing the file. In addition to these read or write operations, we also use this book for adding more contents. Of course, that comes under the same writing data into a file. That means the data are written into the book using this particular process. Clear? The next one. So defining and opening a file is the very first operation we perform. First, we have to create a file and then we have to open the file. All files should be declared as type file structure, which is a predefined data type by the compiler. Actually, it should not be called as a data type. We call it as a predefined structure. This predefined structure is defined in stdio.h. So, every file is created using file structure and is managed as a pointer to a physical storage location using the file pointer concept. So the syntax for creating a file is file space asterisk space file pointer. Here the name of the file pointer will be accessing the physical storage location where the file has been created inside the hard disk. Once the file pointer has been created, we must specify the name of the file to open. Here, one more important point we need to specify while opening a file is the mode of opening. File pointer is equal to fopen of name of the file enclosed in double quotes, comma, mode of the operation enclosed in double quotes. Here, file pointer defines a pointer to the data type. Actually, it is a file structure, predefined structure, data type file. Then fopen is a function receives two arguments. One is the file name and mode. On successful execution, the file fopen function will return the address where the file has been created to the file pointer variable. If the file is not available, then the fopen function will return a null value to this particular pointer variable. Null is returned by the fopen function once the file fopen function cannot open the file specified. Next, the file name is the name of the file to be opened. File name in C language can also contain path information. You can specify any path for opening a file. You may have created the file in E drive or F drive, G drive, anywhere. You can specify the full path to open the corresponding file. Then the path specifies the drive and or directory where the file is located. So then mode specifies the type of the job to be performed on the file. Mode specifies the type of the job. That means what kind of operation you want to perform on the file is specified. Not file, actually the data. The file contains some data. What kind of operation you want to perform on the data, you can specify using the mode. The first operation, the modes can be any one of the following. Number one, the read mode. Open the file for reading only. That means a textbook is available. That book is meant for reading only. You cannot make any modifications to the content. So the mode used to open that textbook is called the read mode. Once the file is opened in read mode, you can extract the data from the file only, but you cannot write any data. Similarly, W is the mode which is always used to create an empty file to enter the data into the file. Open the file for writing only. Once a file is opened in W mode, an empty file is created always, irrespective of the content present in that file. If the file contains some data, it is automatically erased and an empty file is opened for you to create or write the data into it. And there is another mode available called append mode. Append mode means adding more contents to the end of the existing file. Open the file for appending data. The data values you can add at the end of the existing file. So this append mode is used. Here, if the append mode is used to open a file, for file management system, that is the operating system, will allow the user to add more contents to the existing file. If the file is not existing, it will create a new file. If the file is existing, the pointer is placed at the end of the file and it will allow you to add more records. It is just like writing the notes within the classroom. The students are usually going to write the notes inside the notebook at the end of the previous session. That is called append mode. W mode means opening a new book in always creating or opening a new book to write the contents in a classroom. And read mode is to read the contents. Then clear the script. Next, defining and opening a file. When the file is opened in read mode, if it exists, the file is opened. Otherwise, an error occurs. It returns null. So if the file is available, then only we can open the system is able to open the file. Similarly, as we do in our classrooms, if the notebook is available with us, we will open it. Otherwise, we don't open any notebook. When a file is opened in write mode, if it exists, the file exists, then the file data is lost. Otherwise, a file is created for writing the data. That means already I have given you the information. When the file is opened in write mode, if it exists and there is some data present in the file, it will be completely lost and a new file, a new empty file is created and the data are newly written into that file. Then the last one, when the file is opened in append mode, if it exists, the file is opened with the current contents and the file pointer is placed at the end of the file. Otherwise, a file with specified name is created by the compiler. Sorry, it is not compiler, it is actually operating system. That means if the file is already there, then the system will allow you to add more records. If the file is not there, then the system will create an empty file for you and will allow you to create data into it. Next. Now, reading the data from the file is done using a function called getC. There are several functions available under the file management or file operations. One of the most important useful function is getC or fgetC. Here, getC means get a character from the file. From the file pointed by the file pointer variable. Library function is used to read a character from the file. Because the files are always stored in text mode, we will be using the getC function or fgetC function to read the characters. So the syntax is character variable is equal to getC of file pointer. Here, the name of the file pointer that you have used in the fopen function must be specified here. It means that get a character from this file pointed to by the file pointer and return that character to ch. It is almost equal to the execution of the getChar function. File pointer is opened in read mode and the function read data character by character from the file and assigned to the variable ch. Whenever the end of the file has been reached, getC function will return the end of EOF file. End of file character or marker called EOF. Similarly, we have the second function called putC. PutC is a function used to print a character onto the file. Library function. PutC is the library function used to write a character into the file. So putC followed by ch comma file pointer. It means that put the character available in ch into the file pointed by the file pointer. Whatever the character that is present in ch will be stored into the file which is pointed by the file pointer variable. So file pointer is opened in the write mode and the function writes the data of ch into the file. When all operations are completed, it is better to close the files explicitly by calling fclose function. Otherwise, the data may get corrupted. So the syntax of the function is fclose of file pointer. Fclose is a function that will close the file pointed by the file pointer in the mode opened. If I want to use the file, the same file in another mode, I have to reopen the file using another mode. And fclose is a function. Fclose is a function that will close the currently opened file which is pointed by the file pointer variable. There is another function available to close all the currently opened files, that is fclose all. Fclose all is a function that will close all the currently opened files. Next, error handling mechanism during IO operation. Here, error handling means you can handle certain kinds of errors committed by the user but mostly we will be using only one particular function. We are trying to use a file that has not been opened. Suppose that I am trying to open a file which is not at all created. Similarly, trying to perform an operation on a file when the file is opened in another mode. Suppose that I want to perform the write operation on a file, but it is actually opened in read mode. So a file which is opened in read mode cannot be performed with the write operation. Similarly, opening the file with an invalid file name is also an error handling procedure. Trying to read beyond the end of the file mark, etc. are some of the error handling mechanisms that we can carry out using these functions. C language provides three library functions called ferror, perror, and feof that help us to detect IO error. Suppose feof is a function that is used to find whether the end of the file is reached in the file pointed by the file pointer or not. So the same thing we will see here. So feof function is a library function used to test for end of the file. Suppose the file pointer is mentioned as the parameter to feof. If the file pointer has reached the end of the file, then the feof function will return true. Otherwise, it returns false. So when the file pointer has reached to the end of the file, it will return true. Otherwise, it returns false. So file function accepts file pointer as its only argument and returns a non-zero integer value if feof is reached. Otherwise, it returns 0. So we will be generally using a feof function to read the data from the file, and that function will be specified with exclamatory mark, that is the not operator, because by default the feof function will return 0 and the process or the loop will run and when the value returned by the function is true only. So we make this as true by doing this. So the file pointer is going to test whether the end of the file is reached or not. If it is reached, it will return true, otherwise it will return false. There is one more function available called ftel. Ftel is one more important function useful for our campus placement. Ftel is a library function used to return the byte number of the position of the file pointer in the file. Suppose that this is a file available and the pointer is currently available at this location. This ftel function will return the byte number where this file is available or the file pointer is available. Let us assume that this is the entire file content available. Now the pointer is available at this location. So ftel of, say for example, the file pointer name fp is used, the file pointer is available at A. So when I use this particular function, it returns the byte number, unsigned integer constant 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So it will return the position as 9, or sometimes in some compilers it will be returning as 10. So the cursor in the file is available at 10th position. That is the main use of ftel. This function is mostly useful to print the current position of a file pointer inside the file or to print the contents of a file in reverse order. You can print the entire file in reverse order. That I'll show you in our program. Now these are some of the programs that we are going to execute now. The first one, write a program to read data from the keyboard and write it into a file. It's a simple program in which we will be entering some data through keyboard and will be stored in a file, and then immediately we will be printing the data. The first two programs are merging in a single program. Write a program to read data from the file and print it on monitor. You can print the same on monitor. Write a program to add additional data into an existing file. This is also possible. That means this file will work with W mode. Sorry, here it is W mode. This will work with the read mode. This will work with append mode. Then one more most important program that you might have seen in your first semester itself, or write a program to copy the contents of one file into another file. This is copying the contents of one file to another file. This is done using the combination of read mode and write mode. And finally, Write a program to print the contents of a file in reverse order. Here we use ftell function. For all these programs, let us move on to our application window, that is TC editor. A program to create a file and write data, print the same as output. Sorry, it is not in another file. We are trying to just print on the screen. Now, see this. First, as usual, standard input output header file is created, is included, where all the information related to the files is available. Then console input output header file is used, where we will be clearing the screen, getting the character output and so on. Here I add that particular statement, get ch, to make the screen visible until any character is pressed. Then a ch is a character variable created. Then here fp is the name of the file pointer that points to file structure in C programming. Then the next one is clearing the screen. First, open a new file for writing a file. So here I'm opening a file, say abc.txt. abc.txt is the name of the file and it is open in W mode. Then here, once the file is open, this is most important for us to verify. If fp equals to null, that means on unsuccessful opening of a file, the file pointer fopen function will return null. If fp equals to null, we can display a message called printf file creation error. There is an error in creating the file, so the function will terminate the process. So if it is true, then we can make the cursor wait until we press any enter key. Then we can move on to the next one, that is exit of 0. Abnormal termination of the program. If the file pointer has not returned any null value, then it will continue to process. Then, while ch is equal to getChar, here this is a complicated or complex statement, you can say, whose functions are included within the same particular statement. First, the getChar function will work. As you know, getChar is a function that will read a single character from the user. So that character is stored in ch and it will be compared with evof. Here, evof means Control Z. The input will be continuously received until Control Z is pressed or F6 is pressed by the user. Recollect that F6 or Control Z is a control key that we enter while creating a file using copycount command. Then the next one, write that particular character into the file pointed by the file pointer variable. After doing that, the file is closed. So file must be closed before you want to display the contents into the file. Then displaying the data from that file. Not met file, it is ABC file. I have changed the name of the file as ABC. Now, the name of the file must be specified before opening it. Here, one important point that we have to consider is file must be opened before the read operation is performed on it. Fopen of quotations open abc.txt quotations close, comma, in read mode we have to open the file. Again, you can verify if fopen or fp equals to null, then you can display the message as footer. Anyone you can use, file does not exist. And then make the cursor wait until the user press any key. After that, you can exit of 0 and then close the brace. Again the same, ch is equal to get c. That means you can use fgetc also. Get a character from the file pointed by fp and store it in ch, and if it is not equal to eof, then do this particular process. Until the end of the file is reached, this particular function will run continuously, and at the end the file is closed. Let us see how it works. Alt C, compile the program. There are 4 errors. Let me see. There is a mistake. I missed giving semicolon at the end of the file. Yes, still there are 2 errors. File does not exist. Termination is missing. All these mistakes are intentionally done. You must know the difference. So Alt C, compiled successfully. Alt R, run the program. Yes, first open a file for writing a file. So first we need to enter the data. Let us say A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, space, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, and Y, Z. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and some special symbols. Let us say, and at the end we have to press Ctrl Z to terminate the process. Then display the data of the file, so the contents of the file are continuously displayed. So the data are written to the file and displayed from the file. Done. Next, let us go to the next one. The next one is to add the contents of the existing file. Let us change the content from here itself. Suppose that I open the file in W mode. Of course, 2 programs have been completed here. One is opening the file in W mode and creating the file with the data. Then opening the existing file and displaying the contents of the file. Now the third one, opening a file in append mode and adding more contents to this particular existing file. Let us say Alt C, compile the program. Statement missing semicolon, it has not been saved, it seems that. And here also the thing. So it is done. Now let us compile the program. Yes, it is compiled successfully. Then Alt R, run the program. Now again, let us add more contents. Previously we have added some contents to the file. Now let us enter some information like rows, then tulip, potato, apple, brinjal, cricket, Rajamandri, Krishna, Ravi, Sudha, and let us say Sid. Ctrl Z to end the termination. So here, look at that. First, we have entered 4 lines of data already in the same file. Now, more contents are added to the end of the file. So at the end of the file, rows is added. Then the remaining are created line by line. Since I have given there is termination at the end of every line by pressing enter key, the data are written in line by line mode. So this is the way how the program works. Now let us see one more program called copying the contents of one file to another file. Copy file. Here the file abc.txt I want to open. For your understandability, just now we have created abc.txt. It is opened in read mode. As usual, we verify whether the file is created or not. Then one more file I will be opening called xyz, xyz.txt. It is opened in W mode. Now the files are created and one file is opened in read mode. Every character of the first file is extracted and that character is stored in second file. After processing this, let us again display the contents of this file. After closing both files, I would like to open another time fp1 is equal to fopen of, let us say, xyz. Since we have created copied the contents into xyz file, xyz.txt, comma, within double quotes r. Or else we can do something else. Let us do in another way, that instead of opening the file in W mode, I would like to open it in W plus, so that we can perform one more operation. W plus means write the contents to the file and then immediately you can display the contents of the file by just placing the pointer at the beginning. So rewind of fp2, that means the file pointer is placed at the beginning of the file. Then you can write the statement as usual, while ch, or let us go, not feof of fp2, not feof of fp2. First we get the character ch is equal to fget c of fp2 semicolon, then put cat or printf, anyone we can use printf, since character by character we are trying to print, %c quotations close comma ch. The character by character the content will be displayed. Then the files will be closed. So before displaying the contents, I would like to give a message. This \n copied file contents. Let us compile the program. So there are no errors or warnings. Well and good. Control Alt R. The program is successfully completed. Since there is no getch statement given here, we might be getting some problem in getting the display. It is not mandatory actually. Compile the program once again. Alt R. The file contents are copied and the contents are moved on to XYZ file also. This is the program. Now, the last program of this entire session, let us go. Reversing the contents of an existing file. So here, reverse.txt is the name of the file taken. Instead of that, I would like to go with our ABC file itself. So here, rev.txt is not the one I would like to specify, abc.txt. Just now we have created a file called abc.txt. It is opened in read mode. First we verify whether the file has been reached to the, whether the file is available or not. After that, we place the pointer at the end of the file. So fseek is a function that will place the file pointer at the end of the file. Random file operations function it is called. Then all the contents of the file are displayed from last character to the first character. Let us see how this particular function works. Alt C, compile the program, successfully done. So previously we have written Siri as the last word. Now it is going to print Iris as the first word in our execution. And let me give, or let me add getch here, so that we will be able to see the output directly until any key is pressed. So now Alt C, compile. Sorry, an extra character has been typed. Alt C, compile the program, successfully done. Alt R, run the program. See that the file content is, first line itself shows IRIS, that is Iris. Next Sudha in reverse, then Ravi in reverse, then Krishna in reverse, then Rajamandri in reverse, then Cricket in reverse, then what is that, Brinjal in reverse, then Apple in reverse, then Potato in reverse, Tulip in reverse, Rose in reverse, and then the contents of file in reverse from 9 to 1 and Z to A. So the contents of the file have been reversed successfully. This is how it works. So the program is, the code for this is this one. So clear? Now this is the last program that I want to explain or share my knowledge with you. So with these concepts, I hope you gained some knowledge and it is useful for you to learn what you call gain or get a job in our campus placements. So this is the end of our file. So let me congratulate you once again since you have joined in this placement training program. I congratulate you all and I wish all of you will get the job in your first attempt itself with the help of these training programs. Thank you.